You were on the Tim Ferriss Podcast in 2017, and I think the title was something like living on 25 to 27,000 per year. Can you tell us what your expenses are now in 2024?
The funny part is, the answer is yes. So normally I don't track my spending. I tell blog readers to track their spending when they're trying to figure things out initially. But afterwards, because I know there's plenty, I don't do it. However, I just went back and redid it. So I added up all my expenses for the past year. I just happened to do that a couple weeks ago. My spending has dropped, even though I'm trying to spend more. I'm getting ridiculous with like my car, I have a nice car now and spend more on restaurants and travel.
Yeah.
But even so, I added it all up. And in the past 12 months, my personal spending was only $18,000 instead of like the 25 to 27 we used to spend. Now that used to be a household of 2 parents and a child, right? So now we have 2 separate households because we're not married. And so I'm just responsible for mine. My house is a little smaller now. But it still surprised me. I thought I'd be like in the 30,000 range.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you include all my business spending, because I have the business that owns the blog and the construction company, and then I went through all that, and there's like an additional $9,000 that's debatable, that's like benefits me. Like, for example, I love construction. My construction company buys all the tools so I can do construction. So there's several $1,000s of that. So that was about $9,000, including the business-related travel and other things. So if you really, really add everything up in the most pessimistic way, then maybe my spending is like $27,000 these days. But that includes property taxes and like, actually I have my spreadsheet open here. I'll just read out a couple things just because they surprised me. So when I sum it up, my restaurant spending was like a full half of my grocery spending. It was like $6,000 on groceries for me and my son, $2,500 for just restaurants, $6,000 for travel.
Wow.
And then my utilities, $2,000, another $3,500 for Amazon stuff, which is probably like gadgets and tools and construction materials, some of it. And then $3,500 is my health insurance premiums, which is like a direct primary care doctor. And then this Sedera health share thing, which is like a catastrophic health insurance alternative. And then my car was actually quite a bit because I had overpriced insurance for the past year, which I've since fixed. So that was like $3,200 on car expenses.
Okay.
Even though I don't have to pay for gasoline, it still added up. So it's kind of funny how even with this crazy stuff, I still ended up under $30,000.
It doesn't sound like enough, but
I'm trying, man.
But you seem happy. Yeah.
I'm getting ridiculous.
If you enjoyed that clip, be sure to check out the full interview. It's linked below, or you can check out the MHFI podcast on any of the big podcast directories.